The CDC and Elk is a fantastic guide-style alternative to the standard Elk Hair Caddis. Besides the thread, the name is the materials list. Today, I'll be tying with a Daiichi 1180 in size 14 standard dry fly hook. Firmly secure your hook in your tying vise, ensuring that the point of the hook is within the vise grips. For thread, I'll be using Danville's 70 denier in olive. Start your thread about 1 eye length behind the eye and wrap to about 1/2 to 1/3 of the way down the shank. Then snip or break off the tag. Your next order of business is to select a single CDC feather that has relatively long fibers and is relatively long in itself. Take and isolate just the tip of the feather. Tie the tip in about halfway down the hook shank with one nice tight pinch wrap. Then pull so just the tips of the feathers are secured, and then wrap all the way down the shank to firmly lock in the feather. Then wrap back up to where your thread wraps start. Now, firmly secure the butt end of your CDC feather within a pair of hackle pliers and begin to wrap up the hook shank. The feather should just cover the olive wraps underneath, with just a little bit showing through. Once you reach about halfway up the shank, you should notice that you begin to wrap free fibers. Take these and splay them rearward and continue to wrap. Wrap until you reach about 1 to 1.5 eye lengths behind the eye. Then tie off and cut the butt end off close. Next, we begin to prepare the elk hair for tie-in. First, take and separate with your scissors about 1/2 pencil width of elk hair, then cut off close. Take and pull out all the underfur and short fibers as best you can with your fingers. Use a small fine-toothed comb to remove the rest of the underfur. This will save you quite a lot of headache later on down the road. Next, before stacking, cut off some of the butts to even them out. Next, place the hairs point down into your hair stacker and stack as necessary. Then repeat until the hair is nicely stacked. Remove from the stacker with your left hand nice and gingerly, and then transfer to the fly, making sure to keep all the fibers nice and aligned. Place the elk hair so that the tips of the fibers go just beyond the bend, and then tie in with one nice tight pinch wrap pulling straight upwards. Then repeat 2 or 3 more times. Now, to firmly secure the elk hair, take and begin to wrap your thread through the butt ends. Try to ensure that you don't catch any CDC fibers while you do this. Continue to repeat this process until you have wrapped through all the butt ends. Then, take 3 or 4 nice wraps behind the eye and then perform a 4-turn whip finish. Then, cut the tag off close. Next, gather all the butt ends into a nice clump. Take your scissors and cut the elk hair butts into a nice, well-shaped head. Then, invert the fly, and using some of your favorite head cement, in this case Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails, take and apply a few drops of head cement to the wraps underneath. If any of the CDC fibers are too long, you can break them off with your tying scissors. This is a more natural break than if you just simply cut the fibers. These flies can be easily tied in bulk and make up a great portion of my fly box. They are an excellent imitation of the saddle case maker and are usually my go-to when there's a hatch.